Rock 100.5, the KATT, KATT. Jay Ramone live on the bus in Ardmore, Oklahoma with Whiskey Meyers. How are you guys doing?
What's up, man? How are you?
Thanks for taking the time to do this. I was really excited when I found out that Gasoline was going to be worked to rock radio, because I've always thought you guys were a rock band. When I saw you live, it was always a rockin' show. And I like that you're kind of breaking some barriers. I feel like people put stuff in too many boxes. Just let an artist be an artist. And I feel like you guys have really embraced that your whole career.
Yeah, for sure, man. We always been about that. A lot of the bands we like can kind of cross genres, like like Tom Petty or Skinner or the Stones or the band. I mean, you could listen to one of their songs and think it's a country song.
Absolutely.
Listen next song, it's a folk song. Listen next song, it's a rock and roll song. So, I mean, we're kind of that same model. You know, you want to call us a rock and roll band, call us a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
Kind of whatever.
Or vice versa.
Speaking of the Rolling Stones, did you ever think that you guys would ever be sharing the stage with them?
No, I mean, we figured we'd share this stage with, most everybody. We didn't know if they'd still be rocking by the time we got there, but yeah, it was a surprise, man.
That's, when I read that you guys were going to do that, I was pretty blown away. I couldn't believe, that's unreal. That's that moment where you're just like, holy shit, really?
Yeah, it's a bucket list thing that check off for sure.
What was bigger for you guys just in your own minds of success, opening for the Rolling Stones or having a Billboard #1 record?
Opening for the
Rolling Stones. No, easy answer.
Yeah, because none of us really give a shit about Billboard. That doesn't really matter to us, but the Rolling Stones is something that's going to live forever.
Well, I mean, you think about how many people have had, there's not been that many people that's had a #1 album on Billboard, but there's even fewer that have opened for the Stones, so I think that's easy answer. Yeah, that's a whole lot cooler anyways, too.
So I always feel like you guys are, vinyl heads, you're old school music heads, where you go and you listen to stuff that nobody else is listening to these days because they don't remember it. What are some of those bands that when you go home, it's like comfort food?
Man, we named them a while ago, and the Stones. I've been listening to a lot of Townes Van Zandt lately.
Yeah.
So it's really anything like that.
Stuff like that, like the Faces and Humble Pie and stuff like that. They're not necessarily off the beaten path, but nobody really remembers,
There's newer people, too, that we really dig. Really dig, like Brent Cobb and the Steelwoods and Isabel, Sturgill, and people like that. So it's kind of whatever, man.
I feel like
we might listen to Snoop sometimes.
Yeah.
I got a Snoop vinyl.
I feel like you guys, though, kind of, came up at the same time as with Isabel doing the solo stuff and with some of those bands that are, you guys kind of played the same venues and the same tours and things like that, even though you weren't on the same bills, you kind of fit that same sound, and they're doing the same thing. They're kind of breaking down some of those barriers that people have put up in these walls.
Yeah, there's a lot of good bands right now doing stuff like that. There really is.
So Download Festival, 100,000 people or more.
Yeah, it was wild, man. I think we've done a couple of downloads now, but yeah, one in Paris, one in Donington Park, UK, two in Donington. Yeah,
that was with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
So did any of the Guns guys see you guys play?
Hell no, man.
If they did, we didn't know about it.
Did you guys watch them? That's the thing.
Yeah, we did.
I went to the Jerry World show because I didn't think that it would make it much longer than that. And so I got to see it twice on this run, so I was pretty excited.
They played for 3 hours.
Blew me
away.
They
played a long time.
Really long.
I saw the Chinese Democracy Tour, and I left extremely disappointed, but they totally renewed my faith in the band after that. It was well worth it.
Yeah, it was a good time. They stood in the rain for us. The first time we were there, I think it was Sunday morning, and there was 100,000 people there in the rain, pouring rain. It was wild.
So who's an artist out there that you've never played with that you would like to or like to collaborate with?
And we never played with the Black Crowes.
Yeah.
We wrote with I wrote Frogman with Rich. But as far as playing with the Black Crowes, I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
and they're touring right now. I don't know. That's what I could think.
Kalea, that's one that we liked. Petty would have been cool,
Yeah, there's a lot of people that just ain't around nowhere that we,
Bob Seger.
Bob Seger, Bob Dylan.
I saw the last Petty tour with Joe Walsh,
Bob Rock.
and
I bet that was
it
awesome.
was no words can describe it, because Joe Walsh was like Ozzy. You couldn't understand a word he was saying when he was talking, but then he just starts singing a song and it's perfection, and he's got 100 amps on stage, and you know every single one of those things are on.
Maybe.
It was awesome.
Maybe. You can't ever tell.
So the Black Crowes, and they're doing the anniversary tour of Shake Your Money Maker.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But for a lot of diehard fans, that's not the record that they love. Like what's the Black Crowes record that you guys love?
Man, what's that one we used to listen in the
van.
Suburban?
It was Before the Frost. And is it Warpaint? It's not Warpaint. It's I mean, they were all pretty good.
Yeah.
Southern Harmony is my favorite.
Southern Harmony.
I really like all of them, but we used to
we
listen
dug
to that one with the trees, I guess, on it.
Before the Frost.
Before the Frost.
A lot in the van, like we listened to that. Is that
Back when we were touring a van.
When you tour in a van, you get a really close relationship with music, because there's no
You do.
escape. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And you
of-
get tired of fucking talking to each other, so you just turn on the radio and look at the trees pass by.
So what's the plan for the rest of the year? Stay on the road and.
Not tour in a van.
It's always the plan.
That's the ultimate goal, right? To never have to go back to a van.
I ain't
At
going
this
back to
point,
van.
yeah.
I think we'll be all right on that, but you never can tell.
Yeah, man, we're
good
just-
when you're young, you know.
Yeah. I think we're just riding out the album, watching it. It's done its thing. I think people have had time to digest it and really listen to it, and we're proud of it. And just
I think you should be really proud of it. I think it's a totally different sound for you guys. It's a lot darker. The tones are the same. You guys have always kind of had that rockin' tone, but I feel like the sound of it is a lot darker. It's a lot angrier. There's a lot more meaning to it. It's not, I was really, really pleasantly surprised all the way through. I listened to it all the way down here today, driving from Oklahoma City.
Cool.
And I was like, holy shit, like they really went above
thanks,
and beyond.
man.
And you did
Thank
it
you.
yourself. Like that.
Yeah, we did, man.
Yeah.
That was cool. That's the coolest part about it.
Is that because you guys get to make all the decisions instead of having somebody else on board?
Not that as much. It was just the fact that we did it and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. I mean, it worked to an extent. I mean, it didn't totally suck. So it's an accomplishment, especially if you do something, like that.
we do have full control. I mean, you're correct. We do. I think there was pressure deciding to do it, coming off of 2 Dave Cobb records, and
Right.
being the guy that he is, and then we just go out on a limb and it's like, fuck it, we should try it, and if it sucks, then we'll go back in and get somebody to polish it up. We'll know if it sucks. We're getting mature enough to know. And once we got in there, we were pretty happy with what was going on, so we just pushed through, and we're proud of it.
Yeah, I think if this music career thing doesn't work out, I think you got another option here. You can produce other people's records.
Yeah, it'd be like a Walmart greeter.
Yeah.
Well, man, I know rock radio is kind of a new adventure for you guys. How has the reception been so far?
Better than we expected. They told us that. We're like, man, all right. Like, because even like most of our even rockier stuff, the lyrics are still pretty backwoods. Talking about stuff, we're like, we'll see if they like it. I don't know. They might not play it, but we were pleasantly surprised. We're happy, that they dig it.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
always
it's
told
been
people,
great.
especially in Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Missouri, these kind of southern states, we grew up listening to Pantera, George Strait,
Yeah.
Hank Williams. It's all kind of mixed
Everything.
together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
I don't know why that nobody ever thought to kind of meld the two together with radio, but I'm glad.
Yeah,
Right.
we've been
I'm
saying
glad you
that
guys
for-
took a chance.
We've been trying
For
to do
sure.
that for a long time. That was always our thing. We wanted to do it all. We didn't
Yeah.
want to put ourselves in a box or, one lane. We wanted to be able to play what we wanted to and reach different fans and stuff. That's music.
Yeah, man.
That's how it is. That's how it should be.
I completely agree. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time, and thanks for sitting down with me.
For sure,
We
man. Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
coming.